right.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Or if you're watching this later, good afternoon. Or if you're somewhere else, any of those things, good day. Good day. Yes. So I'm so glad you guys are joining us for this is our third Google Certified Educator Bootcamp with the Global GEG. Isn't that crazy, Becky?
That is crazy. Like 3 years.
Three. And in the past we've had such good turnout, and what's more importantly, I think we've had so many people connect with us after and say they got certified. But before I feel like we even talk about ourselves, and we need to acknowledge that like we are just the people that are on the screen, but like there are a cast of amazing characters behind us that have made these graphics and done the social media and made these slides and for free, for nothing, just to help people. So like Pele and Judy and Gerardo and Mel and all these people and all of our presenters today, huge shout out, because me and Becky just happen to be the faces on the screen, but we are not who made this happen. Correct, Becky?
100%. Yeah, we're here to just make sure the show runs smoothly, but really everyone else did it, brought it all together. So
yeah, so huge thanks. I am Bonnie Chalette, and I am just hoping not to mess up. I am from Louisiana, and I have, like I said, I was one of the first people who started the Global GEG, but just because we were there first doesn't make us any more important than all these people like Becky who came along. And Becky, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Becky Lim. I am in the Chicagoland area and part of Global GEG and GEG Chicagoland.
Excited to be here. So, okay. If you want to follow us on Twitter, she's at Tech with Becky. I'm at my name, Bonnie Chalette, 1 L 2 T's. There's just the one. So that is my name across all the social media. And then you can follow the Global GEG at Global G, or, tag us with hashtag Global GEG. Personally, as a person who likes to retweet everything, if you could at me, I'll retweet it a lot faster than looking up the hashtag.
Yeah.
And follow each other if you want. Drop your handle in the chat. Oh, look at all these nice people in here already. Good way to wake up.
Before you move on, Bonnie, I have to laugh. When I saw the Bitmoji you put on here, I was like, oh, it's like a hiking boot camp type of theme. So I was like, I'm going to look up the hiking one. And then I came back later and I was like, and Bonnie chose the donut. That's really
it was a circle. I picked a circle. That's what I picked. I said, Becky did a circle, so I'm going to do a circle. That was me being conforming. Okay.
Oh, I love that. No, because I'm the opposite. Like, I would rather have a donut than go for a hike any day. So I love that. I just had to share.
Yeah. People from the Philippines. What? Philippines. They always got stuff going on over there. Every time I present with people from the Philippines, it's the nicest group of people. I'll get sidetracked. Okay. So, if you're not familiar with the Global GEG, we are a group of people from around the world that came together, not because of COVID, but as I would say, especially during COVID, just to connect on a personal level, on a professional level, skill building, all those things, to support each other. There are GEGs around the world. I know there are a bunch building in the Philippines, India. There are a ton. If you want to find your own, go ahead. You can go to bit.ly/findyourGEG, and you can find your local group. If you don't have one, you can start one. And just, we want to stop people from working in silos, right? Because it's such a huge problem in education. People working in silos, and that is the mission of Google runs the Google Educator Groups as a whole, and just to break down those barriers. Becky?
Yeah, no, I'd say definitely find your GEG or start one. Reach out if you want to start one, and there's tons of support within Global GEG to help you do that. Mm-hmm. But you gain so much from it. It's all voluntary. Yeah. You don't get paid. Nobody gets paid any money, but it does help with the classroom or with your position, just finding resources and ideas and staying up to date with all the new Google updates.
Yeah. And just, find that community. where if you know, a lot of like the teachers who are singles, like they're the only person who does music on campus and stuff. Sometimes those kinds of people need to find their community, and this is a great way to do that. So, and you're welcome to join us. If you ever need a platform to present or anything like that, oh, my bad. We can help you with that. All right. So, I am huge into using social media for educators. It's a whole thing with me. I've got tons of research if you'd like to really nerd out later about it. But you can follow anybody you're going to see here today. Me, Becky, like I said, at Global GEG. We also have a Facebook group. We have an Instagram with super cool people who run the Instagram and Facebook groups. So make sure, you know, you go there and make it a space that's worthy of your time. And share. We really try. We understand. I know people, you know, we all trying to earn a paycheck too, but like generally things in the Global GEG we share free so that you can use it on your own. All right, Beck, you want to tell them what we're talking about today?
Yeah, definitely. So today we're going to be going over Chrome, Drive, Gmail, Calendar, Docs, Slides, and then we'll end it with a Q&A. But as we're going through, if you have questions, throw them in the chat, and the presenter for that portion will try to answer those questions. And then any questions you have that either pertain to the test as a whole or that you want to save until the end, feel free to do that. Bonnie and I will get to all of those, try to get you the answer, or one of the presenters who's still on in the background would be able to help with that. So
sorry, I don't know. I'm not touching anything.
No, you're okay. It's I don't know. I thought maybe it was my internet going a little crazy today. No, hey, I like it. So yeah, today it's going to cover half of level 1 test, and then next Saturday will be the other half of level 1, and then after that you're ready to go and take the test.
Agreed. Somebody asked in the chat about the website. I know I don't have the link. I know Stephanie worked on it. I'll get it to you. I'll get it on here and we'll add it to the slides by the end of today. We'll sort it out. But I know it exists. So because I talked to her about it, and if not, I will make it while we're sitting here. All right, Becky, you want to talk about the challenge? This is Becky's thing. I am not this good. She's the best at keeping up with the challenges and such.
So I was last year. You're giving me a lot of credit. I'm not the best this year at keeping up with the challenge.
Still giving you
credit. I think I might be buffering a little bit. Sorry about that, everyone. Gerardo, who will be presenting in a little bit, created a Kahoot. And so the Bitly is up there. And that Kahoot is truly just a great practice test. So join the challenge, take the Kahoot practice test, share your scores, hashtag Global GEG, and we can just kind of have a fun little competition between everyone here and to help prepare you for the actual exam. So have fun with this and check it out. bit.ly GEG Bootcamp 2022. We'll come up with another one for next week. It's just nice practice and a little fun competition.
What do we do before Bitly? Like, I really am at a loss. If you're not using Bitly, I use them all the time in my personal and professional life. I think my work website is confusing. So I have a Bitly that takes me to a special place on there. It's just super cool. All right, sorry, side note. All right, so me and Becky are going to leave you for a little while, and we have the lovely Jared Johnson's going to come on. Where you at, Jared? Yay! Oh, okay, I'm not doing it again. I'm off.
There we go.
Yes, all right. We're going to leave it to you, Jared. Do you want to share your screen?
Yes, I'll share my screen.
Cool. All right. Well, me and Becky will see you guys soon. Leave you in the very capable hands of Jared.
Yes.
All right. Let me figure out my buttons here.
we lost Jared, but he will be right back. So as Jared's coming back, he's going to be sharing on Chrome. And it looks like, yeah, the screen's a little bit fuzzy. It's going to be coming up and it should clear up. While Jared's doing that, in the chat, share. I know a bunch of you have been sharing where you're from. Continue to share where you're from. Share your Twitter handle if you have one so we can be following each other. And then throughout the sessions, feel free to take some screenshots, take images, all of that, and share them on social media so we can begin building that PLN if you don't already have one. And if you do, why not grow it right now? It looks like Jared might have lost Wi-Fi. So Bonnie, we might be jumping in and getting him kicked off with this, but let's see if he comes back on. And it looks like, oh, okay. So there are a few questions. If you're all okay, I'll just answer some questions while he's coming on. And yeah, thank you for sharing your handles in the chat. Will the new exam format be presented? So we can talk about the new exam format, but we won't actually show what it looks like. And so the actual new exam format, and anyone in the background, feel free to jump in with us, is it's just going to be multiple choice questions. You're no longer going to have to do the different scenarios and go through like actually creating anything and turning that in. So easier is not the right word to use, but it's not as time intensive as it used to be. Oh, and it looks like we've got Jared back. Welcome back. Let's add you. How's it going?
Lord, that was embarrassing.
You know, it happens. It's technology.
All good about being live. I have a new computer, and apparently StreamYard and Chrome did not like each other there for a second. So
Gotcha. Well, hey, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me see if I can do this again.
There we go. All right. I'm going to leave you to it.
All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. I apologize for that little snafu there. So my name is Jared Johnson. I am an instructional technology specialist in South Carolina. I'm a Google trainer, coach, innovator, leader of GEG South Carolina, kind of anything and everything. I love Google. And I love Global GEG, so I'm excited to be here with you all, and happy to see a lot of people on the journey to get Google certified. So this is awesome. So welcome, welcome, welcome. My session is about Google Chrome, and my favorite color is Chrome. Chrome is, as we're all familiar with, Google's web browser. It's designed for Google. It's designed to be fast and streamlined, to make internet browsing easy, as they say. And it's true. I'm a big fan of Chrome, obviously. It does make using Google Workspace a lot easier and a lot more fun. So let's take a kind of a dive into what might come up on the level 1 test. Now, some of the things I'll cover may not be on the test at all. Some might be. So we just kind of see, you'll have to see what is out there. But everything I'm going to show you today is going to be really, really neat. The main talking points today for Google Chrome, it's signing in to your web browser, the profiles that you can have with it, the Omnibox, which is one of my favorite features of Google Chrome, searching, bookmarks, the web store with extensions, incognito, and just some of your generic settings that you have with Google Chrome. If you use Google Chrome a lot, you probably have very well experienced what Google Chrome offers, but sometimes it doesn't hurt to kind of do a rehash or just a look again at what Chrome can do. The first thing I'll talk about is profile. So in Chrome, when you sign into Google in Google Chrome, it signs in. If you set up auto syncing, it syncs all of your bookmarks, all of your preferences, everything into whatever device that you're using. So if I go from my MacBook to my Chromebook and my accounts are signed in and synced, it's a seamless integration across multiple devices, which I absolutely love. But also, if you are like me and you have multiple Google accounts, then you can also set up what is called profiles, and you can sign into those different profiles in Google Chrome, so you can work across multiple accounts. And this is good, especially with us educators, where you might have your school account, you might have a personal account, or you might have, like for me, a GEG account and different things like that. So it's good to be able to switch back and forth between those profiles, so you can do work very, very easily. So again, it's no problem for Google Chrome. If you have one or more account, you can sign in to them. If you're in Google Chrome, if you have a picture or an icon up here in the upper right hand corner, when you click on it, this is where you can turn your sync on or off. Usually when you sign into Chrome for the very first time, it'll ask you, do you want to sync your data? If you clicked yes, then no matter what device you are on, your data is there with you. And of course, you can add other profiles as well. So I can switch between and launch my school account. I can launch my personal account and kind of go back and forth as needed. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Omnibox. I love the name of that, Omnibox. It sounds cool, but yet ominous at the same time. It's really, really neat. And again, if you're a Chrome user, you've been using this quite a bit. And the Omnibox is cool because it's really a full-featured tool that's in Chrome. And so a lot of the things that you can do with it, obviously, we all go to websites. We type in the website URL, www.geg.org, takes us to the website that we are looking for. But we can also search Google with it. You know, way back in the olden days, you had to go to google.com and then type in the search bar to get the results that you want. Don't have to do that anymore if you have Chrome. You just type it in the Omnibox and you can find your searches there. You can also search your Google Drive. I absolutely love this feature. So if I know the file name that I'm looking for, I don't have to go directly to my Google Drive to find it. I can open up a new tab. And I can start typing the title of my document. And I can see here as I type Bootcamp, I'm coming up with the Bootcamp documents that are in my drive. Now, these are going to be the documents that you have opened recently. It's not going to search, you know, a file that's 3 or 4 years old. That you will have to go into Drive for. But if it's something you have used or opened recently, it's right here as you search, and you can click it and go right to that. So I can click it, it'll open the document up, or I can switch to that tab because I already have it open, obviously. And so I can go right back to that tab and keep on working. Really neat feature there with being able to search your Google Drive. You can open Workspace Apps. I showed this trick to somebody the other day, and I was kind of taken back because it's been there a while, but there are a lot of people that don't know the trick of opening up like new documents. So if I need, say, a new doc, I just go doc.new in the URL, boom, I'm right into a Google Doc, and I can immediately start working. It works the same for slides, sheets, all of that great stuff. It's slides, sheets, docs, .new, and you're into a brand new document. So that's a cool little feature of the Omnibox right there, is you can open a brand new Google Workspace document as needed. You can do math problems. Type in 2 + 2, and it'll give you the results in the URL or in the Omnibox. I love the fact that it does math problems. It will translate as well. So if I don't know a word, I can say translate in Spanish this word, and it will translate it for me. And of course, it will define words for you. This is a great feature to show students if they're not sure what a word means. If they can copy or paste it into the Omnibox, or if they can type it into the Omnibox, they can say define supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and it will define the word for them. So that's a nice, neat feature with that. And a lot of cool things, like when you're using Chrome with students, if they're on a Chromebook, MacBook, or a device that has Chrome on it, it's really a good way to teach students those skills on how to use the Omnibox, how to use those features of Chrome that we're talking about today, because it's all about making their experience internet browsing, internet searching, a lot easier, but it also builds a lot of the skills that they are going to need in their life when using technology. So good thing right there. Another thing we're going to talk about is search. So on the test, there will be some questions about how to search. There might be some scenarios about, Johnny wants to search something. What is the best way for them to search? And I don't know about you, but all of us, or at least me in general, have gotten stuck in searches, right? You type in the Omnibar, something that you're trying to look up, and you're getting either results back that you don't need, results that just aren't matching what you thought you wanted. It's just not bringing up the materials that you need. So Google understands that. Google knows that getting stuck in searching is just a part of life. It's a learning experience. However, there are strategies that you can use to improve your search results, and search smarter. And so again, as you become familiar with these strategies, it's a good thing to also share with students those strategies. So again, it helps them when they are searching. Some examples, choosing the right search term. So if I type zebra into the Omnibar, it is going to bring up anything and everything that's got zebra in it. But if I'm looking specifically for the animal, I can type in zebra animal. I can put quotation marks around it and search just that term. And it will find those results. Again, it's also understanding the search results that you get. So as you know, you type anything into the Google search, you're going to get ads. Those are the number one things that come up. And so a lot of people don't like clicking the first thing that they see on there because those are ads. Those companies are going to get paid, or Google's getting paid for those ads. And so you got to teach students sometimes to bypass those ads, go past the ads to find the search results that you are looking for. But you also, to add filters and to look for those natural responses which take place under those ads, if there are ads on those terms that you have searched. Using modifiers, filters, and tools, and I have linked there. So on this document, on this slideshow that you'll have access to, if you click that link, it'll take you to Google's cheat sheet on modifiers and filters and tools. But I'm going to show you a couple here because, right, why not? I gotta just be aware of my time, and Bonnie and they can tell me to be quiet when I need to, if I need to be. All right, so the first one I want to show you here is searching for images. We've all done a Google image search, but a lot of times, depending on the project that we are working on, or you have your students working on, they're going to need a specific image size. So if they're working within Canva or Adobe or some kind of tool that requires a certain size of image, you can type in the word that you're looking for. So let's say, for example, I'm looking up zebras. I need a zebra picture, but I know that I need an image size of 500 by 300. So if I type in zebra space image size colon 500, your width times height, into the search bar, it is going to then give you images that are that size. So it makes it a lot easier. You're not looking for images, downloading images, realizing those images don't work, going back and finding a new one. That's called getting stuck. This will help unstick you by knowing your size of image that you're looking for and finding the appropriate image to go with that. Another search feature here is, let's say you're looking for the price of something. So if I am searching for a Chromebook, I can type in Chromebook into the Omnibar, and it's going to give me a lot of results for Chromebook. But if I only have $300 to spend on a Chromebook, what you can do, and this goes for anything, camera, MacBook, phone, whatever you're looking for that has a price to it, I can type in Chromebook, the $, and then the money that I want to spend, so $300. Then it'll filter the results based on that price. So I can immediately see some websites that tell me the best Chromebooks under $300. Walmart, if you're here in the United States, has a lot of Chromebooks for under $300. And then on the other side, you see ads. I can see ads of all the different stores that have Chromebooks within that price range. That's a really cool tool to help filter the results to find what you're looking for. Another one is the minus sign. So if you put a minus sign in your search results, that will delete something that you do not want in your search results. It helps filter it. So again, if I have students doing a research on Jaguars, if they just type in Jaguar speed into the search bar, they are going to get Jaguar cars, they're going to get the animal, they're going to get anything and everything that is considered Jaguar. But if you go in and say Jaguar speed minus car, you will get the results that do not have the car in it. It's filtered the car manufacturer out of it. So then you are looking at data, you're looking at research or resources here that are more focused on what I'm looking for. So really neat there. I guess it's pulling up some cartoon characters too. But you can put those minus signs in and it'll delete those in the search results. Another one fun here too that you might use is hashtag. We all go to Twitter or to our social media pages and we're looking for hashtags, or maybe you heard of a hashtag, but you're having a hard time finding it. Again, in the Omnibar, if you search that hashtag, so hashtag, whatever it is that you're looking for, it's going to pull up those social media posts with that hashtag. So here in the United States, the Supreme Court has been trending a lot here lately. So if I type in the Omnibar, hashtag Supreme Court, it is going to bring me up images. It's going to bring me up all the results that I'm looking for, social media results, anything and everything that has used that hashtag. So that's a really neat feature there. Again, I talked about this earlier. Quotation marks allows you to search for that exact term or words or set of words. So that way that helps filter your results and you're not getting a lot of extra things there. It's searching just for those two words together, whatever you have within those quotation marks. You can also search the @ symbol. So if you're looking for the latest and greatest from your favorite social media people, sites, things like that, if you search @ and their hashtag, it will bring you up all the relevant information that goes along with their @ symbol. This is a really neat one here that I have used with students before. So when they're looking up news articles and you want to look up things that are related, like you want them to have multiple sources. So CNN, CNN is a resource I want students to use, but I don't want it to be the only resource. So if you put related : and then the website that you know, it will bring up related websites to that. So CNN, great resource, but I want other resources that are related to CNN. So I put related : CNN.com, and it shows up USA Today, Washington Post, C-SPAN. It brings you all the related websites that go along with it. So that's a really, really neat feature too. And the last little trick I'll show you here with searching is the ability to site search different domains. You can search specific sites like site : YouTube, site : and then like say .gov. So again, if you're having your students wanting to do research from just .gov websites or .org or .net websites, you can put site : and then the ending part of that website, and it'll bring up all the websites it thinks is related to that. So if I'm looking just for .gov, I'm pulling up NewJersey.gov, FloridaNursing.gov, and I can go in and look for what I'm looking for there. And of course, too, we're all familiar with these features here at the top. These also help narrow down our search field. So again, if we're not using these little strategies, we can go to Tools. We can click for any search results within the past hour, time range. We can customize that. We can, again, customize the results here. We can add in PDF or other documentation up here at the top to bring up actual, documents or primary sources. So a lot of different things that you can do there with searching. So search smarter is the thing, and try not to get stuck as much. A lot of information really fast. I know. The other thing that's going to come up on the level 1 is bookmarking. And so you find a website, you star it, you name it, you save it, you can go back and organize it. Bookmarking is really, really easy and really, really fast. If you want to bookmark any web page, you go to it, you click that star, you can edit the name if you want to, you can organize it. So I can see here, I have different folders set up. I can put it into a different folder or my bookmarks bar, click done, and it's there, and I can go back to it easily. I love the fact that I can put bookmarks. I can customize my bookmarks bar here, so I can add folders from Google Drive. I can organize websites into folders, all those things right here to make it easy to find. A nice new neat feature of Chrome is this bookmarks button right here. So I can go and I can click my arrows and I can scroll and do all that fun stuff. But there's a quick little shortcut here now in Chrome that's fairly new. And I can put things on my reading list. If I like a save later, go back to and read that article, or I can pull up my bookmarks and I can see all my bookmarks right here. This is a little bit easier to view than go into the arrows and scrolling that way. I kind of like this way. You can see everything that you're looking for right there. To organize your bookmarks, you can do a right click in the open space on your bookmarks bar. You can add pages, add folders. You can customize. I can go here and do the same thing. Open a new tab. I can go to my bookmark manager. And I can go here and again, do some customizations or further organizations right there within my bookmarks. So I love a good bookmark. And as you can see from mine, I have to do some more organization. I have recently changed jobs. And so I've imported and exported bookmarks from other accounts. And I need to go in and clean those up. And then lastly about Chrome, and this one I don't believe shows up on the exam. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't remember seeing it, but incognito is just, it's there. It is Chrome's ability to privately browse the internet. So your history, your cookies, the site data is not being saved to your Chrome account or to your computer. And so you can go in an incognito. I know I have some colleagues that can only go to YouTube if they are in incognito mode or things like that, depending on how your school or organization is done. But incognito is there. That's really, you can go what I call the traffic light, or you can call it the snowman up here. And then you can go into a new incognito window. I do this a lot for my children because when they need to use my computer, I can set them up in an incognito mode. And then that way they can go in and do the things that they need to do. And it doesn't affect my accounts and my profiles on my device. All right. Checking the messages, making sure I didn't miss anything on there. If somebody said, I would die if Chrome didn't save all my passwords. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. It's the best help. I had that problem the other day. I could not remember my Paramount Plus password, and thankfully Chrome saved that. Chrome also saves your credit card information too, and that could be a good or a bad thing. I do a lot of online shopping, so it's saving it, and I just have to click it, and it's there. It's a lifesaver to me. All right. Well, you all deserve a coffee break. So if you have your coffee, especially if it's morning where you are, it is 10:34 in the morning where I am. And so I still need a lot of coffee. But if you have coffee, or if you're drinking anything out of a mug, we would like you to take a mug shot with your coffee. Post it on social media, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you have, and use the hashtag GlobalGEG, because we would love to see what you're drinking. I'm drinking some Jamaican coffee today. It's delicious. I guess in the chat, tell us what you're drinking, what kind of coffee or anything that you're drinking right now. I guess if it's late in the evening, you might be drinking something better than coffee. All right. Is there any questions? Oh, I see Vicky coming on.
Thank you so much, Jared. I think you did such a fabulous job on that. Yeah, hot tea. Look at some hot tea, people. Football season hadn't started, because you know that is a different answer, Jared, because you're in South Carolina. Like, football season starts, yeah, we all drinking tea and coffee. But it's coming. It's coming. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions, or Jared, if not, you can follow him on what's your Twitter again?
It's at edtech_ology.
There you go. Make sure you follow him. Next, we are going to go straight into Drive. But like Jared, I mean, I think if you would offer anybody advice about like how they might see Chrome on the test, what would you say?
I think what's going to come up is the how to use the Omnibar and searching. I think are the big ones I remember.
Yeah.
Not so much with incognito profiles; those are just good information to have. But it's the searching smarter. Is what I think is going to come up the most.
I think the profiles are important to know, to make sure you're like logged out of your personal when you're taking the exam.
Yes, that is good. I forgot to mention that is great advice. Yeah. Yes.
Make sure you are only, now I know now it's different with the multiple choice, but just to be mindful of who you're logged in as.
I have made that mistake and failed the test because of it. So yeah, don't make that mistake.
Yes, I would. For me, it's Omnibox. Like it's such a word we use so minimally, but I think there's always a question asking specifically about the Omnibox, and just knowing that I've always called it a search bar, but what it is to be able to answer that question. So thank you, Jared. That was amazing. And
you're welcome.
Takeaway.
So good to see you all.
I know. I don't see it. We used to see each other every morning, like during COVID. We were all on here all the time.
All the time. I know. I'm seeing you all every day.
That's right. Well, good luck, everybody, on taking the test.
Yes.
You're in for a great day of learning.
Yes, thank you. We're so excited. Next, we have the amazing Gerardo, who's going to be joining us. So we will bring him up here on the screen.
I'm going to take that job away from myself because I just undo what Becky does. I just click remove. If you're not familiar, we're using a platform called StreamYard, which allows you to have lots and lots of users. There's a free version. We have an upgraded version, but it's great for like if you're trying to live stream any kind of like parent event or anything, definitely something to consider. But there are a lot of like things you can do in the background, and I tend to mess them up. So. But if you ever want to live stream a parent event where we have a virtual open house, it's a really cool way to do it.
And I do see
Gerardo, are you going to
really quick? We have a few questions about the test. We will get to those at the end, so I am going to make note of them and get to those at the end. We're going to pass it off to Gerardo, and then we'll be back.
Okay, thank you, Becky. Thank you, Bonnie. Nice to see you again. And now we're gonna take on Drive. Drive is the most powerful tool that we have in Google Workspace because it's our landing zone where we can do anything what we want and begin with many tasks related with all the applications that we can use in Google. So I would like to present my screen, Billy, if you allow me to.
Your screen is up and ready to go.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
So, I am Gerardo Navarrete. I am a teacher and consultant at Universidad Interamericana para el Desarrollo en Campeche, México. And I am a trainer and Google certified educator. I am a leader in GG Campeche, and I am mentor for LATAM. So I am glad to share with you today, and we're gonna begin with our journey. First, when we are using Drive, you can use two ways to access Google Drive. You can try typing in your Omnibox, as Jared had said, drive.google.com. Or instead, if you are logged into your account, you can go to Waffle, like we say, or the app launcher and select the Drive icon to access Drive. So when you access your drive, you are using everything, the tools that you can access from them. I'm gonna access from the app in a window. So I'm going to Drive, and you could find some interesting spaces that you can use for store and manage your files and your folders in your cloud space. So we have some of the elements that we can use in Drive. We can see the left-right menu where we can find all our content and our files in my unit, my drive, shared drives, shared with me, recent, started, and trash. And we can find here some interesting spaces named Workspace that allows you to find the most recent files in which you are working for a project. So you have all things from here. You can create folders, you can upload files and folders too, and you can start new jobs for Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Forms, and including Google Drawings, Google My Maps, sites, and any app that you link to your account for be used here in Drive. So this is a great tool for manage all your stuff in our cloud. So you can use the priority view where you will see the recent files and the workspace that you have created. This is a very interesting feature because when you create a workspace, you can have all files related to a project in take in one step instead looking for all them or including organizing in a folder too, because maybe for one project you can use files for many folders. So this is a good feature. In my drive, you will see all your files and your folders, and you will be allowed to manage between this space. From here, you can do any task related to the management of your files. Oh, my connection is okay. Okay, you can select the folder, and you can use many activities from here with your folders or with your files. You can create, okay, it's here. You can create new folders. I'm gonna create one new. You can do, it's working. You can sort for last modified. You can sort for file size, and you can look in the search for the owner. You have seen I have my new folder here, and when you create a new document, maybe a blank document from Google Docs, you can do from here. You can create documents, slides, and any other documents from Google. And we will see later in documents that we can rename and use them. So it's saved. Wait a minute. Let's save. You will see right in the folder that you have created. There, it's there. If I'm going to Drive, you can do this from all applications of editors. And we will find in my Drive newly our folder, new folder, and the document that we created inside. So you can make anything to create any file from these tools in Google Workspace from our Drive. So we have seen how to create a folder, and when you need to upload documents or upload a complete folder, you could do the same. Going to New, File Upload, and it will show you your operating system interface to open, and you will see the file loading. The same occurs when you have a folder upload. You can select a complete. There are 4 files in this folder. They are uploading. And remember, you are uploading these files into the folder you are in. So you can too organize them, maybe selecting one document and moving to other location. Maybe I want to take on this document to another folder. Maybe I have to send it to Apply Digital Skills, and I will move it. So you can do many things with your files when you are managing from Drive. So one of the most beautiful things that I have found in Google Workspace is sharing, because we can work online on real time, and we can share with the others with some privileges. So we can share with reader privileges, or we can send an edit or a comment privilege, so we can make our job more collaborative and a source of new learnings from this. When I select one file, I can use the right click menu to make share, or I can use this. Okay, I'm going to select. I can use the little man and plus icon to make the same task. So I can here share the document with another people. So I can type here one account and then select which type of privilege I am giving to him or to her or to them. So if I want to just let them view, as I will select viewer. If I want to comment, receive comments from them, I select commenter, and if I am given all permissions to edit the document, I can give them editor. So I can add a little message notifying people, or just copy the link for notify the people who am I allowing to use my document. Then I will send message, and when I am sending documents or sharing documents between different domains, I will receive an alert for that. You should consider that maybe some admin console should restrict the way that we share the documents outside of our domain. So we can do another beautiful things from our drive, and it is that we can select a folder and change their color. We can use a little blue color for them. And so when I have said, you can to rename your your folder. Let's go to rename it, and let's add more stuff. And that's it. It's just rename it. So we can manage and do many things from our Drive app, and you will know that it is the center of the universe when you're working with Google Workspace. So I think you will have to explore and try many of these tricks and tips, and have fun and make the best use of Google Drive. So you're ready to explore and to know more features from Drive. I hope in this quick tour you can understand and review some of the important things that we will have to use and study for the test. Make sure that you check the place where you do the things, because there are many ways to do that, and maybe in some of your questions you can find. Thank you, girls.
Thank you, Gerardo. I appreciate it so much. It was wonderful. And you had lots of good feedback in the chat. Like he said, the Drive is the heart of Google Workspace. I need to start there more, because like he was pointing out, you can make, if you hit create and you're in a folder, it just makes it there instead of me having to put documents in and then move it. And it's something I'm personally working on. Also on here, we talked about, I know Tara, you were talking about awesomeness, the color code. Some people, I think, go overboard. I have like one folder color coded, the one that I use the most. And then, yeah.
Excuse me, I forgot this trick. Please try emojis too, or
yes.
some image when you are renaming your files or your folders, because you should visually gain more advantage to find them and to identify when you're working it.
Yeah, you can put emojis in the front, and it will low-key like put it at it's like putting a 1, but it's like before the 1. It's like putting a 0 in front of it. It'll organize those first, and it helps to have that little visual. That's a good way to help your littles organize too. Like try to teach them some digital literacy skills when they're young, and get them trained on organization as well. So thank you so much, Gerardo.
Thank you. You were amazing. Yes. Oh, and We lost Bonnie. There you are.
Space bar and it made it go away. That's obviously me that did the Ted Lasso gift because I love me some Ted Lasso.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Gerardes. Every time I hit the space bar, it removes
See you
me.
later.
Fun fact about StreamYard. All right. So next, Judy, my favorite. If anybody's seen me and Stephanie Brown's seen our presentation about using Google, like you building capacity and building framework, and we talk about 2 truths and a lie. This lady is always our example because absolutely fascinating life. Judy is the most fascinating life.
Yes.
She does. Like, she's the most fascinating human being ever. So there she is.
Stop it.
I'm serious.
No,
We talk about you. I don't think you understand how much we talk about you and your life. Every time we do a presentation, we have that something like, this is Judy. She's cooler than all of us. And you using that QR tune thing, I see.
I love it. It's so cool and new.
Pretty nifty. I think you just tweeted about it. I'll drop that in the chat, or somebody did. I'll drop it in the chat. But this is a new nifty QR tool out there. All right. Well, we'll let you have it, Judy. Talk about Gmail.
Okay. Let me present my screen. Okay. So we're going to talk about Gmail. Let me get to my part here and present. Give me a second. I live in the country. Takes a little bit. Okay, so a little bit about myself. My name is Judy Keller. I am a technology training specialist in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the heart of the Amish country. I do live on a farm, so that's one of the things that Bonnie was probably relating to. I am a Google certified educator and a Google certified trainer, as well as a GEG leader. And let's get into Gmail. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Gmail layout. So you have the layout here, and on the left-hand side, you'll notice you have the buttons for mail, chat, spaces, and meet. And then down at the bottom, you'll see there's a notification bubble, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But then you have your app window off to the right, and you have a collapsible panel. And then it also has a status indicator up in the top. And on the side panel is probably one of my favorite things, where I have access to other tools that I use a lot, like calendar, keep, tasks, contacts, those type of things. So in the Gmail menu options, you're going to see up at the top, you have the compose. So I'm sure most everybody's familiar with the compose button. So you click that to start to compose an email. Then you have an inbox, starred, snooze, sent, and draft items. And then there's more, and then there's labels. And then we'll get into those in a few more slides. So in your inbox layout, these are different layouts that you can choose for your inbox. There's 6 different inbox types, and you can go on there and choose one that works best for your workflow. I use the priority inbox. It's customizable, and I really like that. Stars, using stars in Gmail. So this is important to know. In Gmail, when you get a Gmail, right next to the email is a star. And so if you click on that star, you can star your email. So you can come back and just go to starred emails later. Now, if you continue to click on that star and you have different stars set up, so if you go into the settings menu for stars, you'll see that you have a general tab, and you can go under the general tab and go down to the stars, and then you can click on the stars that you want to have in use. I'm I have multiple ones in use. And then that way, if I just click on the orange star and double click it again, I can change it to another color. So if I prefer to have certain emails, maybe something that is really important for me to do, and maybe I tag them with red stars. So that's how you use the stars. So here's how you star and label. So you'll see in this GIF that I created, if I click on the star, I can star it, and then I can also label it. So we're going to go into labels. Just a second here, but let's watch this one more time. So you see on the left of the email is the star where I started. Searching in Gmail is something that you need to know. So similar to the Omnibox, you have a search box up at the top. So in your search box, this is where you're going to search your Gmail. And then over to the right, you're going to see that there is another area that you can search or look for advanced search options. So we're going to get into that. So in the advanced, so first you can go up there and you can search. So little things pop up at the bottom of the search box, like attachments. You can click on that and just search by attachments, or you can go into the, so there, last 7 days, and from a particular person. So these are all those Gmails that show up for that. Then I can go into my advanced box and I can search by a specific username. I can put in like a time frame, so for the past week. And then I can go for starred mail. So anything that would be starred, so from that person, will show up in my search. So you can get down, you can get really specific in your search. You could even search by, so maybe somebody sent you a recipe and it has chicken in it. You could search by chicken. Haha, Bonnie. You could search by chicken and just find any email that has chicken.
Because how many chickens do you have, Judy?
104,000.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. But Bonnie's not crazy. That's a lot of chickens.
All right. So that's how you can do your advanced search. So you can really drill down deep in your advanced search. So creating a filter. So this is something that you would want to do for something like emails from your boss. Okay, so you're going to create a filter and maybe put in your boss's email address. And then create the filter. So I'm going into search. And then I'm going to click that I automatically want all those to be starred. And I automatically want it to go to a specific label. So I have a label named boss, and I am now going to create that filter. So now every time my boss emails me, it's going to automatically be starred, and it's automatically going to have the label boss put on it. So again, here's where you would do that. You can go into your search and then you can create your label from there, or go into your settings, I'm sorry, and just create your label. So you can set up different labels for different things that work for your workflow. But this is important to know. Chatting from Gmail. So this is something that I use all the time within my own workspace. I'm always chatting with different teachers in my district and the team that I work with. And so it's really nice. You can just chat right from your Gmail, send somebody a message, then they can respond. And you notice how the bubble popped up in the bottom when they responded to me. And then I respond back, and now I can see that they're typing. And this makes it really easy. So if I'm wanting to, maybe I have a question about something that I need to respond to in a Gmail to someone else, and I know somebody else knows the answer, I can quickly jump into chat without leaving Gmail, start a conversation, and find out what I need so I can respond to the email that I have from someone asking me a question. Also in Gmail is the ability to start a Google Meet. So you click on Start a Meet, then you want to share it with someone that you're going to start the meet with. So you can invite them with a Gmail, or you could copy the link and send it to them, either way. And then you can go back and join the meeting and then wait for them to join with you. So that's really easy to do. It's quick and easy. You can set up a new meeting. Again, send the invite out or copy the meeting link and then just get right to it. Super helpful. So the main points of Gmail are to use the search bar to search Gmail, star your emails, create a label, create a filter, and start a chat from within your Gmail. Don't forget to send your guest invite to the meeting. And I think I went through this pretty fast. So let's go through and see if anybody has any questions. Okay.
Judy, I
Bonnie,
think,
help me out.
yeah, I am. I was thinking, like, how do you think they'll be asked? Because I know, like, if you're recertifying, if you've never taken the Google certification before, there used to be a task portion where you would have to send emails or like make those templates. That's always a big thing on there. The templates, the template responses. But how do you think they'll be asked about it in a multiple choice setting?
Boy, I don't. You know, I just took this not too long ago, and I don't remember how it was set up. But so maybe they might ask like multiple choice, like, could you set up a meeting within Gmail?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and I think they talk about it like used for collaboration, and it's like a multi-select.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of us don't use it. I think that this one is tricky for me because a lot of us don't use it with our like students and stuff. And but I think that's important to remember on the test, for me at least, was to remember that they're trying to tell me to use it with kids. And you know, I don't students.
I do use it. I do use it with students.
So we don't.
Yes. So we do use it with students, where students actually respond to us.
Cool.
I can share a Google Keep note. So over here to the right is where I was saying, here are other things that are used within Gmail, which I find super exciting. So like, for instance, this task button here on the right.
Mm-hmm. Now they do ask about tasks at level 2, but they will talk about tasks, I'm sure.
Yeah. So if I open this up, and I have my task here, and say I want to respond to this email later on, all I have to do is grab this email, and everybody should know this because this is a game changer, and just drag it over here and drop it. Whoops. Drag it over here and drop it. And it creates a task for me. But not only does it create a task for me, it also gives me access right to that email again. So, and I can set it up here to come back to on a specific date and time. I can set. So now I have this kind of on my calendar as well. And I can come back and I can just click right on this Gmail, and it's going to take me directly to the email itself. And then when I'm done with it, all I have to do is check it off my list. So it's a giant to-do list. So as an educator, I think like if you have, maybe you have something that you got an email from a parent and you want to address it, just drag it over there. And now you've got it there, and it's something that's on your to-do list. It doesn't fall down in the rest of the things below.
Oh yeah, like my water bill. My water bill, it's I always like, yeah, just put that there. I know y'all are always, I'm always thinking about how I can organize my own life. And then tons of people are talking about your QR tune. I know this is about Google certification exam, but tons of people talking about how cool it is. I did drop it in the chat. And it is my understanding I haven't made one yet. You just go to qrtune.com and you have that picture ready, correct?
Yeah, just have your picture ready and go to QR Tune, and then you put the link in for where you want that to go, and just add your picture, and then it makes this pretty cool
so
thing.
Fantastic. That's so
I do want to add something with Gmail really quick before you move on, because Judy, I know you're going to be presenting for the next part too.
Yep.
So if you run into the issue where you are using your school account and you don't have this updated version of Gmail, like I didn't for the longest time, and I kept complaining that everyone else updated before me and couldn't figure out why I couldn't get this really nice, beautiful version. It is because I went into my layout view initially and I had the chat on the right-hand side of my screen. And so if you move it so that, yeah, you can do that now. If you do that, it won't update.
So where were you at? The original Gmail view?
Yep, I was in the original Gmail view. And then in the original Gmail view, and this is only for the work account, so personal account is not going to update to this beautiful new version, but I was in that original view, and my chat, instead of having it on the left-hand side, I had moved it to the right-hand side because I have so many folders on the left-hand side. And if your chat is on the right-hand side of your screen, if you set it up that way, you don't get the option to update to the new version. So I'm only telling you that because the test may refer to things being on a certain side based off the new version. I don't know that it's going to at this point, but
I don't know either, but that's a really good point because I forgot about that because I've been on this new version for quite a while.
I was like so frustrated. I just got the new version maybe a month ago, and I was wondering why I was the last one to get it. It's because of how I had initially set it up. So yeah, if you don't have yours, if yours isn't giving you the option to update to the new version in your EDU account, move your chat to the left side of the screen, and then it will instantly ask you if you want to update to the new version. Just a tip in case you're stuck like I was.
Good to know. And here in the settings too, where it says go back, I would assume that there might be something there as well. I don't know.
Yeah, you won't get the option to go back and forth if you have your chat on the wrong side of the screen.
Okay, good
I'm
to know.
It's a Google flaw, but don't tell them I said that.
You totally tell them you said that. No. We should tell them all the things they didn't know. They want our feedback.
So annoying. Yeah, it really is. So just FYI.
Up at the top too is this active button. So people can, they can see that I'm active. If I have somebody, if I want to mute my do not disturb. So if I don't want to receive any, if I want to really focus on my Gmail, which I should do, I could turn that on do not disturb and I won't get any notifications until 11:43. But I can also always go back or set as away.
I feel like I would get overwhelmed by the 100 that came in when I turned it back on.
I know.
That's because you're so popular, Bonnie.
I just feel a lot of emails. So it's different.
That's why it's so important to star. So here where I start too, I want to show you that. So when
I snooze and star a lot. I'll snooze things till they're relevant. For like all my IST emails, I snoozed until like the day they were coming, and I star a lot of stuff too.
So let me show you the stars because I only have one star on this account set up. So if I go down here where the stars are, you can see I only have one in use. But if I want to put all the stars in use, I can click them here. Or if I just want to use 4, or if I want to just maybe move purple up because I'm a purple kind of girl, I can just drag them. I can drop and drag them here. So now when I go back to my mail, oops, forgot to save them. Hold on. Move on down. Save my changes. Good thing it reminded me. And so now if I want to change this from orange to purple, I just keep clicking on it and it'll change to the stars that I have available. So
Nice.
now when I go to my starred files, I will see both my purple and my yellow stars.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Judy, we're going to leave you up here because you are taking on the next part as well. So we're going to hop off the screen and let you keep doing your thing.
okay. So we'll head on back over here. Present. All right. So we are going to move into Google Calendar. Again, thanks for hanging on there. Here we go. So we're going to move into Google Calendar. So you'll want to learn how to create a new calendar. So on the left-hand side of your calendar is where you can click the plus button. So it's underneath where your calendars are, where it says other calendars, there's a plus sign. It's right down in here. And there is where you click to create a new calendar. You add a name and a description for your calendar, and then click Create Calendar. And then when you want to share your calendar, you would click the three dots. And I can show you how we do that. You run back and forth here. So let me go into calendar. Look, I'm going to go right to my calendar from my Gmail. I'm going to click on calendar here. And then I can open up calendar. So in my calendar, you're going to see on the left-hand side here, again, it's got to load. I can click on other calendars and click the plus sign. So I'm going to click here to add a calendar, and I'm going to create a new calendar. And I'm going to give it a name. And create my calendar. So now that I've created my calendar, it's still in progress. It might take a second. And you're going to see once it creates it, I can go back, and over here on the left-hand side is my calendar that I just created. So if I want to share that calendar with somebody, I can go over here to the three dots, go to the settings and sharings. Oh, and before I go there, because I'm a purple girl, I'm going to change the color of my calendar to purple. I'm going to go back here to sharing, settings and sharing. And then here inside the calendar itself, I can share this with other people. So I can add specific people to this. So maybe I want to add myself. And then I can also allow them to see when I'm free and busy, or free or busy, or allow them to see all of my event details. And there's lots of other settings in here. So if you want to integrate your calendar, and I don't think you're going to need that on your level 1, so I won't go into that. But that is how you can share it. Now, also, if I want to not see this calendar, so maybe I want to see just my calendar. If I go up here, whoops, I want to go back here. Sorry. So if I want to just see my calendar, I can click here on these three dots, and I can display just this calendar. So now I'm only going to see this calendar. You see that it took off all the check marks on the other ones. So if I want to see this calendar, I just click on it and I would see anything that's on it. Now, obviously, I don't have anything on the calendar. If I want to no longer see this calendar, I can click here and hide it from my list. So there is that. So we'll go back. That's creating your calendar and changing the settings. So the next thing is to create events. So on the calendar itself, you're going to see here is where I can create. And I have the option to create events. I have the option for focus time. And what is focus time? Focus time is time for me to focus on what I need to get done in my day. So it could be during my plan period. It could be just a mental health time for myself. So I can set up a focus time for myself in here as well. And that way, when I set up a focus time, let me just show you this first. So I can create a focus time, give it a title. And then I can set it up. So maybe I want to set it up today from 11:30 to 12:30. I can check this box. And if anybody requests a meeting with me, it will automatically decline it so that I stay focused. So I can set that up by clicking right here and saving that. So, and it reminds me that I'm going to be declining all the meetings, and I absolutely want to. So now I've got focus time set aside for me. Now, if I want to create an event, super important. First thing, everything needs a title. So I'm going to give this a title. And I'm going to schedule this for Monday. So I'm going to click on here. And it's going to give me a little calendar so that I can go over to Monday. And I am going to schedule it for 8 a.m. So I can change my time here. And it'll automatically put in an hour. But if I only want it for 30 minutes, I can change it to 30 minutes. Or if I wanted it to be all day, which I don't think I want to meet with my boss all day. I love my boss, but I don't want to meet all day. I can put that here as well. Or maybe this is a standing meeting with my boss and I need to meet with my boss every Monday from 8 to 8:30. So I am going to make this repeat. And this is important for you to know. So I'm going to make this repeat weekly on Monday. So now it's going to repeat every week. Now I'm going to add the email address in here, and then it's going to, okay, I could also click to make sure that this compares with the schedule and it's free for both of us. So we'll just say I already did that. And then here it's adding conference details. So it's going to allow me to add it as a Google Meet, or if I don't want it to be a Google Meet, I can just simply click the X. And if I decide later, maybe this week it's not going to be a Google Meet, and then next week I want to change it, I can come back and change that. So now it's going to repeat every Monday from 8 to 8:30, and I'm going to save that. Oh, wait, before I do that, I want to remind myself. So one of the things I want to remind myself is I want to give myself a notification. So I want to add a notification, but I want it to be in an email. So I want to send myself an email 10 minutes before this time. I can add an additional notification, and that may pop up in the bottom of my screen, or if I use the calendar app, it could show up on my phone, and maybe I want to set that for 30 minutes ahead, just so I'm prepared and ready. And then I'm going to save this. So now that I save it, it's going to send a notification to my boss, and I'm going to invite them. So now that I have this, you can see if I go and look at my monthly view, you're going to see that I now have a meeting every Monday with my boss at the same time. So that's how you can schedule a reoccurring event in your calendar. So also, if I'm going to be out of the office, I can create an out of the office event. And so I can put an out of office in here. So maybe I want to be out of the office from, let's go. I'm going to go all day. I'm out of the office. So now it's going to, and let's do it for Sunday. Let's do it for tomorrow. So I'm out of the office, and that is going to automatically decline any meetings unless I uncheck it. And that's going to save to my calendar. So that's the out of the office. And also, if I share my calendar with somebody, so maybe I share it with the secretary from our department or secretary from the building, they're going to be able to view and see that I am out of the office and not available during that time. Another thing is a task. So we talked about tasks a little bit before. So if I go over here and I can add a task from the right menu, but I can also add a task right within calendar. So I'm going to add a task. And I'm going to say I want to review something. And I'm going to make that task appear on Tuesday. And let's make it at, why not? Let's make it at 9:30. Then if I had a list, I would add that in here, but I'm just going to go ahead and save that task. So now I have that task saving. I did save it for the 19th. I'm sure I did. Okay, it's taken a little while, so it's saving the task, and then it should appear on my calendar, and it should also appear into my task list. Finally, the appointment schedule is here. I don't think you're going to need to know about this for level 1, but you should know that this is something that's available. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this is available in every, I don't think this is available in every form of Google Workspace. So let's go back here. Okay, so that goes through all of those events, focus time, out of the office, and task and appointment schedule. And again, the appointment schedule, I don't believe that you need to know that for level 1. And so that can get a little, and everybody doesn't have it. So I'm not going to go over that, but that's something that is available. All right, so we are creating a calendar, creating an event, setting an event to repeat, which we all went over all those, set an email notification we did. We did not attach a document, but let me show you in this video that I created, which will be in here for you to review. It does show you how to all do all this. So let's just go ahead and watch this. I need to present it. So you'll see in here where I add a calendar, create it, give it a name, and create the calendar. Then I can see the calendar on the left-hand side, and now I can create an event in that calendar. Give it a title. And then give it a time, a date, I want to make it for Mondays, and I'm going to make it repeat weekly. Again, you could make it repeat monthly, annually, every weekday. There's multiple things you can do there. Here's where I'm going to create my notification email and have that sent to me. Now, if I click on the paper clip in here, this is where I'm going to attach my document that I want to have in that meeting. So everyone that's in that meeting will have access to it. Now, when I add them, I also have to, I'm going to give that person the ability to modify the meeting. And I'm going to send the invitation. And then this guest is from outside of my domain. So I have to give them permission. And I also have to give them permission to edit my document. And then I'm going to share it. And again, it's going to ask me, because they're outside the domain, to make sure that that's the right person. If they're within your domain, you're not going to see that. But it also depends how your domain is set up by your administrators. And then I can join it with a Google Meet that I had in the meeting. And you can also always make sure that you allow your microphone. And look, the new thing with Meet, you can now brighten your screen, which is super awesome. And then join the meeting right from your event within the calendar. Okay, we went through all these. So this is how you can set up appointments. I'll show it to you. And again, I don't think it's on the level 1, but this is really something that is exciting and new. We were always able to set up appointment schedules within our domain for parent-teacher conferences, which came in handy during COVID, especially. But now you can set them up. You can actually have a booking form in there. So you see down there at the bottom, there's a booking form. And you can, so if I'm setting up parent-teacher conferences, if I want it to be in person, or if the parent wants it to be in person or they want it to be virtual, I can have them select which way they'd like to have their appointment. So that's something new and exciting in the appointment slots if you have appointment slots available to you. So the main tasks in calendar are to create a new calendar, give it a name, create and title an event, set up an event to repeat, set up a notification for a calendar event reminder, which again, you can set it up with an email, or you can just set up a notification and that will come to your, I usually use the notification because it pops up on my phone. So if I'm not at my computer and I have a meeting coming up in a half hour, I like to get a notification on my phone because I always have it with me. And then I can go get to my computer or wherever I need to be in time for my meeting. How to attach a document to a calendar event, we just showed you. How to add a colleague to an event and allow them access to modify your event. And add a Google Meet to an event and save that event and join the Google Meet from your scheduled event. So that's the main tasks in calendar.
Judy, you're seriously the best. Thank you so much. You went over everything we need for calendar plus some. So
I know. I did go over plus some. So
no, I love it.
Hope that I don't confuse people, but I feel like everything I went over is things that you can use every day. So
100%. And I think with calendar, everything you showed was useful.
Yep. And I did put the little GIFs into the presentation. So it should be an easy review for you before you do your level 1.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Judy. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I'm sure you have some fun stuff planned this afternoon. But
sure.
Yeah, everybody's saying how great you are in the chat. So make sure you're aware of that. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take us through docs. Docs is something we could spend all day on, you know, and then some. I'm going to try to like just talk about level 1. We are having a level 2 boot camp, so they'll kind of do next steps. I'm just going to try to talk about the basics. I feel like putting myself on a timer, but I'm not. What you will need to know for the test. You need to know how to make a document. We've talked about the WAF already. I'll go back to that docs.new or just the plus on Drive. So you need to focus on those share settings. That's something that'll come across in a lot of different questions on the exam. You know, those share settings are the same for all the tools, but we'll talk about them for Docs as well. But that is something that is cohesive throughout all of the different Google Workspace for education tools. Talk about editing, collaborating. So the different ways you can collaborate within those share settings. Talk about version history. Explore a few things. I think Explore is going to be my plus one because I always think it's underutilized. I'm going to talk about citations because I'm obsessed with it. And then we will give you these resources. Now, and Steph Rothstein's in the chat. She's going to do level 2. So I am just going to be your, try to keep it to the basics. We will be giving these slides out at the end. The only reason we didn't give them out in the beginning, we have a bit.ly, is because there are about 50 people here. And if 50 people all jump on at once, it crashes. And then that's no fun. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a doc that I made to practice with right here. This is just something I'm currently working on. So like, I just figured it would be fun to just go ahead and jump right in on here. Now, let's talk about our other ways that you can make a doc, right? So you can go straight from your app launcher, aka Waffle. I like how they gave us a name for an Omnibox, something we didn't ask for. Well, and I'm tricking y'all. It says it can't. So if this ever happens, you can type in docs.new or do this straight from your drive. My computer does not love all this this StreamYard I've got going on in the background. So you can do docs.new, and then or you can go to your drive and you can go straight from there. So I'm just go ahead and stay in this one document. Important things to note about Docs is it updates a lot and without warning. You will never get a notification if a new feature comes out. It is just there. So if right now when we're clicking through here and taking our time, if you click on something, you're like, I didn't see that, you're not the only one. Google will roll out some really cool things and never tell you about it until you stumble upon it. So some massive things about this, you have your open and make a copy. Some of this might look slightly different. Some of these are some updated features. You see now this share, you can share in so many different places. You've got your big share button. It's going to be under file, but those share settings are probably the most important thing to learn for the test. And anybody can tell me if I'm wrong. Internet, like I said, my apologies for the delay. StreamYard just does not, it sucks up your bandwidth. So your sharing settings. Okay. Let's try something else. Let's try something different. I have a backup document ready to go. So we'll see.
I was going to say, let me know if you want me to have a backup as well ready.
I have great internet. It's just, it's because I'm online and so nothing works. Yeah, Becky might have to. It's not letting me share and stuff. Yeah, I might have to be in the background for this or talk over it. My apologies. Yeah, it's just not loading. So, yeah. Becky's going to jump in for me. Becky, you got to come on and talk. You can't just be in the background.
I was about to say, I'm going to come join you. Here you go.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yes.
So I was just walking through all the features at the top. So you want to go ahead and we could just chat and you walk through this stuff?
Yeah, definitely. So I think where you left off was you were sharing correct?
Thing, yes.
Okay. Yeah. And when you come in here to share, I should probably give it a name first. Just call this practice. We have quite a few different options. And as Bonnie was saying,
it looks different. If this looks different to you, it looks different to you. It has changed recently.
It's constantly changing. So yeah, it even says like, show me what's new. I do like checking these out as it does change, coming in here and seeing what did change and why and how, but I can come in here and actually like share things. So I could share this with Bonnie. I could decide, do I want her to be an editor, viewer, commenter, and give her that setting. You know, for students, sometimes it's really nice for them to be able to write their paper or, you know, write some type of essay and share it with another student to review. And when they share it, they don't want them to have full access to be able to delete or do any of that. So you could just make them a commenter and then leave a little message, notify them. One other thing that you could do is just copy the link and send it. I'm going to remove Bonnie. I can also change the general access. So instead of saying I want to share it with one specific person or a group of people, I could come down here where it says restricted, and I could change that to anyone with the link. If you're in your school account, it's probably going to give you that option. Like mine will always give me do you want it to share with anyone, or do you want it to share with anyone in EMSD 63, which is my district? In this case, I'm in my personal account. So I can decide, do I want them again to be viewer, commenter, editor? And then I can copy that link and share it that way. So that's some of the share settings. You can also do that in here in the share option, or publish to the web, which is nice for slides and things. I don't know that I've ever found a reason to publish a doc to the web, but maybe, I guess if you're creating a website, but that's well beyond level one.
I think people use it like if you're doing a training and you want to share your resource, but not allow people to make a copy. That's a good way to do that.
Good point. Okay. Yeah. And you could also embed it. So that's cool. All right. Where do we want to head to next?
I was answering, I'll put the link for the slides and everything also in the description. So if anybody has to leave, I don't expect you to spend your whole Saturday morning with us. It'll be in the description, and hopefully I can timestamp it, which is something I meant to do. Yeah. And can you talk about Pageless a little bit?
Yes, because I love Pageless.
Do you? I feel like there are two types of people in this world, and I do not. I do not love Pageless.
I absolutely love it. So we do a lot of running agendas that we'll use throughout the year, and pages just drive me nuts. They really
we do too. My whole life is agendas, and I like to hit a new page. Like, I don't know, there's something to me like soothing about it.
We are very different, and I like that. So you come in here to file, and then just come all the way down to the bottom where it says page setup. Click there, and you have the option to keep it pages, which I have right now, or to go pageless. And when you go pageless, it truly does that. Like, it makes it so it's just a pageless running doc. There's no end. You're not going to be on page 500. Like, it's just never ending. I am also a big proponent when I go to pageless. I like to change the background to one of these very muted colors because, I don't know, it makes me feel good about it. So we're going to do that as we go pageless, change that color. And now I can write anywhere on here.
I don't ever change the color.
Oh, you've got to change the color. It makes it fancy. Really, I don't know why else you need to change the color, but it is nice, I guess, for students. You could say, everything with math is going to be yellow, or everything's going to be gray or blue. I don't know. But you'll see that I no longer have the bar on the right side to scroll up and down. It's now a pageless doc. I still have my summary and outline over here, so I could still maneuver through my doc that way. But I do like this pageless feature. Not great if you want to print, though. So if you're expecting this to be printed, don't give that pageless option.
No, I didn't. I never think about changing the color. Yeah, right, Maureen. Like, see, Becky just. And pageless. When I'd say that was a couple months ago. It's not like brand new, but it is. I'd say 6 months, huh?
Yeah, it's before I went on maternity leave, so it's probably been about 6 months.
Okay, so let's talk about. We talked about the share settings, like what it means to edit, right? What it means to view, what it means to comment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Could you make it just a little bit bigger on yours? Could you like zoom it in?
Mm-hmm. No,
well, not like that, Becky, like the other way so I can read.
We're gonna get there.
Just so I can see a little better. So comments and tagging people in comments and suggestions. So let's talk about that kind of stuff. So and the whole running outline too, I also love, and I could talk about forever. But how would you add a comment?
So you could add a question like this, and then I could highlight it.
Ooh.
Up here, I can click the comment button, or just off to the side, there's that blue comment button. I could click that one.
That's new. That's new. The emoji.
Yeah, the emoji's new. I was going to say, I don't know what that is. So I could add a reaction. We're going to have to play with that in a second, or a suggested edit. In this case, I could add a comment. And then off to the side, I could say, Bonnie, will you add to this, please?
Mm-hmm.
And then from here, I can assign it to Bonnie. It's going to tag her regardless because I've added her up here, but I'm going to assign this one. This is now her task. Hit assign. Yep, see, it's shared right now. She can only comment. I want to make her an editor because she doesn't currently have access to this. So now she does. And now when Bonnie comes in here, she'll see that this was assigned to her. She can actually reply directly to it. I can also just, write the word task. And again, right here or up at the top, I can click on a comment and I could say, add tasks later, ... and hit comment. And then when I come back in here, I could say, like, here's my running thoughts, but maybe I don't want to put it on the doc yet because this is something official. I don't know. I want it in the comments for whatever reason. I can do it that way. I could also come and tag myself and say, and so then it'll send me an email to come back into this. I can reply directly into the email. I can reply to that comment, or it'll take me right here. So it's just a nice reminder to say, like, come and do this later. But comments are great for students too, because they can be communicating back and forth with one another without editing or changing that doc at all until they're ready. Or just to ask those questions like, is this part necessary? Maybe, maybe not. And they can justify it within the comments section as well as assigning. And then we'll say
and it's like, for me, because I'm not in the classroom anymore, it's like a place to have the meeting before the meeting. Like, like to try to streamline, if you're having a meeting, get everybody to comment on their thoughts. What should we add here? That kind of stuff. Huge. Yeah, Ellen's making a really good point about changing the background color for inclusivity. Because we have the best people ever that come to our events. So collaboration. What about suggestion mode? Does anybody use suggestion mode? I do. I use it on myself. I'm in grad school eternally, and I'll find sometimes I'll use a word too much, and then I'll go back and I'll change it, but I'll repeat the same mistake and use that word to replace it. So I use suggestion mode to like check myself and see if I'm replacing like incredible with amazing, like in doing the same thing.
Definitely. When you do it, are you coming up here in edit mode and changing it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So up in the right-hand corner, there's this pencil. You can change this to be either suggesting or viewing. Again, great for exactly what Bonnie was saying. Right now, I'm in suggestion mode. So if I were to delete this, instead of it actually deleting, it's going to suggest that I delete it. Once I'm ready, I can change it back to that edit mode and I can either accept or decline that suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
This is also nice for if you have students who are editing each other's papers, or if you as a teacher are editing, you can come in here. You can still add those comments. You could do all of that, but like
I make a lot of documents, and I work in a lot of like policy documents, and this is great. Like if you just think about your different levels at work. So I have some people who I just give suggestion mode. Obviously, like they can suggest, and I may or may not do what they ask. But like my boss gets edit mode, right? Like she gets to make the changes, and I don't get to choose whether I make those changes or not.
Yeah.
So you can just think about it on that different level too of like, suggestion. Like I said, the different types of people that'll be interacting with your document. And some people, I don't want their feedback, or I just might want to give them comments. Like I don't even want their specifics. There's just all these different ways now that Google gives you to interact with a document. Just super cool. And as much as sometimes I fuss about Google having the paid editions, it is cool that all this is available for free.
I agree.
Fair enough. So version history. And this is like, what teacher doesn't love a good version history check whenever a kid says they didn't write it, and you get to be like, oh, you didn't, and then you get to pull up the version history and show them exactly where they said it. If you haven't ever used version history, I'm pretty sure that's the number one reason they put it out, because teachers wanted to see who wrote what. I keep my weekly agenda, like my weekly work plan. I type it and I save that version, and the next week I go and edit and I save that version. So I just have one version. I don't have 100,000 documents, but like people can come and check on what I'm working on that way. Somebody else taught me that. It was pretty nifty. So,
and I think I use version history the most because I'm a digital learning coach. So I'm not I don't have my own classroom. I'm in a lot of classrooms. I think I use it the most for when teachers say, oh, this student's constantly, like every time they go in, their assignment's not there. And then I show them version history and I'm like, so it was there. They're actually deleting it and then telling you it wasn't there, because I can see that. And then the students are quick to be like, oh, you can actually see everything I'm doing. It doesn't happen a lot, especially now that the students know that we can see version history, and I always show them, I can see all of that. I could also see if they're collaborating. So if Bonnie and I were collaborating on this, I could see how much work she did versus how much work I did, which is helpful for the teacher. And then there are times where it's like, well, that's because Bonnie was the one typing while we were talking. So it makes sense why it looks like she did everything. But that is nice.
Yeah. I think version history is a huge deal. And they might ask about it on the exam for those, any of the things we were talking about. Might be like how to, like I've seen teachers like just change the different version depending on like what, like they're sharing out their syllabus or something, and they'll be like, and they'll have all the different versions saved, and that's how they share it differently. That's really nifty to me. I feel like some people have used this, like, and that's what Becky's showing you. You can go in and save and name the different versions, which is what I do at work. I think it's a nifty tool that like especially teachers are using in really innovative ways. So it's always cool to see. Also, I was a Microsoft, and even now, sometimes I will type like a massive, if I have a big document I'm working on a big article, I'm going to type it all in Google Docs. There are some features in Word, like it will check for passive voice and stuff that I want to check at the end. But thanks to version history, you can go back from the beginning since your document opened, no matter what. You don't lose stuff, and we've all lost stuff, and you don't lose stuff with Google Docs as long as you're online, and that is a game changer for me. And I will stop talking about it, but I have lost pages of papers that were really heartbreaking. But yeah, so version history goes back to the beginning of your document, and then you can use the undo button since the last time you've opened that document. If you're just looking for a explanation of when you would use it. Explore. You want to talk about the Explore button real quick? And I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I am a little bit losing internet. So cut me off if I am. And if I'm not here anymore, let me know. So Explore is in the bottom right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm. Now, some of the things it might talk to you about are like adding images and that kind of thing. If you use the Explore button, super cool. Like you said, you just click on it, it finds like related research or all kinds of different stuff. And it is down there on the bottom on all of the Google tools. But if you go in and you want to add an image, if you click explore and then just type in, Alexander Hamilton, you'll get information and pictures. You don't have to open up that second tab and copy and paste. You just hit insert. Boom. Yeah, I could now she's in suggestion mode too. So that's we're like all the different layers of Google here. I love that. I'm talking through this, Becky. We're just teaming up today.
I love it.
The Explorer is also cool because you can get the first time I saw it is because see if you hover over that Wikipedia right there in the Explorer, Becky, go down. You see, look in the top right, that citation option will come up, and I can click it and just cite that is where I got my picture. Even more so next, and it does the citation for me, and I can choose my different formats on APA or MLA. Another thing, and this is the last thing we talk about, is citations, is the citation machine that is built in now. So if you go to tools, is it tools that does citation? Yeah. Tools and citations. You can insert all of your sources from it. And obviously I have papers that I use this on now. You add your source. I always do by print journal article. You don't have a thing in my head already, but you can add all your sources in there. It'll format them for you. All you have to do at the end is hit add, and it offers you a button to do your inline citations. So if I'm typing a sentence and I know where that came from, I can just hit the cite button. It'll put the brackets in there for me in the right mode. And then I can just keep typing without having to think twice about it. So, I think they might ask you some questions about that. No, I used to use Citation Machine as a site to make my citations. And now that is, it's built into Docs. It is not an add-on. It is just built into Docs now if you go to tools, and that is on all the different, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right. So I think that's all. It's way more than you needed for level 1, but you really, when you're talking about level 1, you might have to also, there's another, Becky, you want to show the other way you can insert an image by going to insert?
Of course. Yeah. So I can come over here up at the very top. There's insert image. You can upload from computer, web, from your drive, your photos, a URL or camera. You can also, if you don't want to have to search for it up there, the option is right here. So next to the add a comment, there's add an image right here. So you can do it that way. You can also add hyperlinks. So you can add a link in right here. I use Control K to add links. That's just my little tip. But so yeah, you can add images here. I don't know. Will checklists show up on there? Checklists are newer, but now, instead of just having bulleted lists that you can create, you can create, so you can have bulleted lists, but now there's checklists. So I could actually say, I could create tasks and then start a checklist here. And I can even assign things to certain people. So I could assign this to me and give myself, clean the house. Because that's something I really do actually need to do. But I could assign things to different people. And then as they're completed, they can come in here and check them off.
And then they also have drop downs, and I was really trying not to talk about it, but I'm really going to have to now, because now you have that insert the drop down right there. It's at the top. And we use these a lot for I have a lot of big status documents. So if you hit insert drop down, it'll give you some options. You see at the top?
Oh, you went up here? Sorry.
No, it was up there. When you hit it'll come up. And see, it says drop down. New. Yep. And so you can do project status. I use that one a lot. It'll be who did what. And then if you were oh, well, I have a project and I need a template. If you go to insert and then table template,
Are you in here? Or?
At the top. Sorry. We're
That's
having to do this like Vanna White. Insert and then table template.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So now like you have those options that you can do. We do like that kind of stuff all the time. And now you can just do it with a few clicks.
So much easier. The email is my favorite. But again, yeah, that is not level 1. So
yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
I know. It's just too much fun. There's too many cool, exciting.
I knew I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But we are going to go and we're going to dive into slides next. But we will be talking more about docs at level 2 with Stephanie Rosting, who will have a functioning computer and won't have to guide poor Becky through like this. So Gerardo will be back on talking about slides. Thank you guys so much for tolerating me talking. Gerardo, are you ready? He's on the phone.
Welcome back.
Welcome. All right.
Hi.
Hello. We're going to leave you to it. We'll be back once you're done.
Yes, I'm here. I'm ready to go. Excellent. Well, we are going now to explore some of the amazing options that we have in slides. Slides is a presentation tools, and it could be a great way to make some graphics when we need it. And with the wonderful option to export our slides, each slide, we can use them to make amazing backgrounds image to other tools like Jamboard, or maybe to have some excuse me, apologies, some little image for our YouTube channel, or for making other stuff with a graphic design. So we are going to the presentation, and then to take the main task that will be working in the next minutes. So here's the presentation. Okay, sorry. Yeah. You know me. So we explore the next main tasks. Please, first we will learn to open a new deck and add slides. Then we will insert multiple kind of items that we can use in our presentations. And when we add these elements, we can change colors, themes, and fonts. And when we are working in a collaborative way, we can share deck to work in real time, and always to share the deck to all the audience that will need the items that you are showing your presentation. So there's in the slide deck, you will see when you can download it, access it, you will see a lot of items that you need to know, and there are some links that will be useful to learn and identify which you have to do with your slideshow. So let's go to the practice. You can find in the presentation some of the representative images where you can find this task. So let's go to demo time. First, we can start a new presentation. As I have said, in Drive, you can create from your Drive app. Just selecting the button with color plus new, then you can create at Google Slides, you can select two options. The first, which is a blank presentation, and the second, that is using a template for your organization, or maybe one of the predefined in Google Slides. We will begin with a blank presentation from here, but I just show you that you can to begin or start a new presentation from a slide button, or maybe you can do that to typing slides.new in your Omnibox. When you do that, you will have a new presentation, a blank presentation. So you can find the three ways to add a presentation in a slide deck to and a slide to our. So you can rename here the presentation. I am writing a new slideshow, and remember, all your documents inside Google Drive are saving immediately. You can see on the right side of your name of the file an icon with a little cloud and a check mark. It means that you have saved correctly and you have your slideshow now in your drive, in your own cloud. So you can begin now to insert and add slides. The first slide is one of these that is on a layout that you can use for the different layout. First, always is the slide, but you can add or you can change the layout to apply a different layout that you need to each of one of your slides in a slideshow. So let's type a little title about slideshows. So I can add a subtitle with my name. So you will have the first slide of your slideshow. Now, how can I add slides? This is one of the ways you can add it. In the left panel of your slides, you can find with your right menu the option to new slide. Or if you wish, you can use Control plus M as a shortcut. So I have added a new slide to my presentation. So you can do that from slide, new slide, or simple, you can do this with the right menu now on a new slide. So from this menu, we can change the layout of my slide. So maybe I will use what about a big number? Okay, now I have a big number, then it will say 100%. What about people loves global GG? Hey, I think so. That's a new slide, and I can add new slides for each minute I read more. So I apply a new layout. I can have title in 2 columns, and what about in and out of a slide? But I think that I never can write some out of slides. Maybe just is because it's one of my favorite tools and my favorite apps in Google Workspace. So you can type here, useful to design, great to present, etc., etc., etc. And I will type here nothing because there's no out for me into slides. So when you have added a new slide, I'm going to add a new slide where I will apply a new layout. And maybe I will need some about, what about blank slide? So in a blank slide, you can add any time of elements that you will find in the menu insert. You can add images where just from your computer. No, you can search the web. You can use images in your drive, images in your photos, add by URL, and two, you can take a picture from yourself, or from another camera or another stuff you want with your apps when you're using a mobile application. So I'm going to search the web because I love searching the web. Now you can see the right panel where you will get abilities to search images. I love use virus for my search here and insert images. And of course, I can select one or two images and then insert into my slide. So I have two images that I have inserted now from my search on the web. So you can find your files or your images right from your drive, or you can add any of the ways that you're using. If I insert image from a camera, of course, it will show you the low window. So I'm gonna take a picture from here. Big smile to the other camera. Yay! And then I'm gonna insert the picture. So you can find, oh, another bird. Yes, it's a teddy bear. No, it's Gerardo. Yes, you can find the way to add some images. And of course, you can make some treatment of your images. So you can use the format options to take size and rotation. Maybe you can use the position, or you can to recolor your image. You can change the way that you're looking at. So you can add drop shadow or reflection to your images in the slide. So we can too select another image. I just move it. Another image, and we can make some magic. What kind of magic? Well, we can mask the image. We can put this beautiful bird in a circle or in a ellipse. So we see a new way to watch my images. So let me arrange my photograph. So not just adding a shape, but cropping the image. So I can change the Okay. I'm not doing that. Okay. Check your arrows to do the correct thing. I am not doing that. Once again. Okay. Now I am cutting off, and you can move in your crop the part of the image that you want to show. So it's very interesting to get images on our slides. So, what do you think? You can add video too? Yes, of course, we can add video too. So, I'm going to insert a video and I can add my video from Google Drive. I have some videos there, or I can search in YouTube. So use term slides to make a search, and then oh, there's a lot. Let's change my search term. And then one of these tutorials or videos where you can find some help that you need. Oh, I think that you won't need any help later for your test. So we're gonna select the first and insert. So it's creating a reference to the video in YouTube, and we can use some of our options for the video playback. We can select the way we want to play the video, maybe when we have on click, or automatically when we get the next slide, or manually. So you can do put the time when you want to start and the time when you want to end the video. So if you want to jump to minute 5, you just type here 5 minutes, and the video will begin to play in a minute 50 seconds. So you can finish the video to at minute 5:30. So this will just show in your slide the slot for 30 seconds that we have selected. Here you can mute audio, and of course you can use some of the options that we have to format images about size and rotation, the position, and including to a drop shadow. So we have insert images, we have insert to a video, and now we're gonna insert a text box. You can do this from displays in our button, action button, text box. You can click on and drag to draw the section where you are gonna write this. So there you can write or type what you need. And of course, it's important to know that as we have format options for our videos and our images, we will have to for the text boxes. So as we have selected a text box, you can find all kind of tools to arrange the board of the field of this text box. For example, I'm gonna fill with this orange color. I'm gonna put a border from purple and 8 pixels, and I'm gonna change the border brush. So it's a lot of fun to design and add these elements to our slides. So you can use all the known tools that you have learned with documents, that it's just select the style for the text you're writing or typing in your text box. So you can use bold, italic, underline. You can change the color of the font, and you can change the font too. For another, let's select one more font. What about this? Okay, you can add size to the font. So if you look, you are making an adjustment to the size when you increase your font size. So if we go to our presentation, make me feel that I have at the middle of the tool. So we know how to create a new slideshow, how to add a slide, how to insert an image, how to insert a video or audio. Oh, or audio too. I'll show you now. And we are in the part that we have to comment and tag a user at the comment. So let's go and do that. If you need, let's add another slide. And we are now inserting some audio. I don't remember if I have some audio here. Oh, yes, I have a lot of audios, but not concerning about us. But there are too long. Okay, let me see. I will choose anything. I selected. It's creating the link to my drive too. Okay, I didn't select an appropriate, apologize. But you can add from your drive. Um, Let me see if I can find another audio file. I didn't check this before. I apologize. There's a very big. So there's a lot of audios, but fine. All of it. Let me see if I can add this. Maybe the size or the coder uses is not appropriate. So I can do it this just now, but you can try to do it inserting an appropriate audio file that you have in your drive. So we can add other kind of stuff like shapes. We can add two in a slide, a table. Yes, it's there. And you can select the format options for the table. So you can make some adjustments to the info that you want to show in your slideshow. So when we have this working, let's go to make a comment. For example, if we are working with another people, I can select part of text and go to my icon of actions and add a comment. Or I can go to insert and use the option comment to. In both ways, you can add a comment for people who is working with you. And are you sure about 100%? And I make a comment. But if I select another piece of text or any object that I can find, an image, a video, another block of text, a table, so you can tag somebody using I forgot how to say arroba. Okay. And assign the comment to one people to view and review the comment that you are assigning him. In this example, I am assigning me a comment that I think that they say, check this data. And I'm gonna send in our email and make an assignment. And there's a comment, and we can find in this comment, let's see, how these observations that could be useful when we are working together in the document. We can add to or reply. I can say yes to me. Yes, I'm sure that all people that we are here loves global GEG. So you can make a comments linked responding any of the comments that you are making to other people. So it's pretty useful in the collaborative work using comments in our slides. So let's see another of our beautiful options. You can use a background and select or just change the color of the background. I'm going to change this to this color, or I could change the background to an image. And I can select an image to use as background. Let me see what kind of image could I have here. I don't have photos anymore. Let me see. What about just for watching this? What about the candies? And there's my image of my background. Okay, maybe I could select something more or less scandalous. So we are now to get something that Bonnie has talked about in documents, and I talk about in Drive too. The collaborative way of using documents in Google Workspace. Except forms, slides, documents, sheets are type of files that you can share with people, and you can select the way you are sharing with them. So I'm gonna click on the share button, And from here, I have some of our interesting options to show. Please, let's see about the setting of share. First, you can make take a watch for this part when the editors can change permission and share. If you don't check this box, editors just can edit but not change permissions or share. That is an important feature because maybe you want to share the way to edit, but you don't have to give person the rights to share or change permissions in your document. And you can too avoid to the commenters the option to download, print, and copy. So you have not checked these options, of course, won't be able to download, print, and copy your file. This is an interesting feature if you want to maintain freebase your documents. And maybe it's a part that no many of us have take attention for this. So after we have checked that feature, we can select peoples of groups to share our document, our slideshow in this case, and I'm gonna share again with me. Oh, I not my favorite passion all times, but I'm sharing my work. So you can see what we have seen before. That's selecting the kind of permission you are giving to this person. You can set editor, commenter, or viewer. And remember that these directives are limited for the settings you have selected in the previous step that we have watched. So I'm going to invite this as editor and I can send him. Now, I told you that I am sharing between domains. I'm going back to share and I will see the next part of this. In the editor, you can select all of these options. Remove access, change the permission, including add expiration for comment and viewers in a limited time to do comments and viewing. And you can to transfer ownership of the file. So you can do this with someone that you have shared your document. But there's another ways to share your document. You can select in general access these kind of options. If you are restricted, you can select the document and people who is owner of the permissions as these two peoples, me and me, can access the document, but not just from their mail, they get an announcement giving permissions, but two from the link. So if I select Gerardo Navarrete, which is my domain, I am giving access to anyone in this group with the link, not just the people with access. Anyone in my domain who has the link. Which link? Could you ask me? Yes, we're talking that I can say anyone with the link. And copying this link in this part of our window, we are giving all access as a viewer to anyone with the link. So when we share the link, people can view as anonymous little animals, pretty animals, because we use a name of an anonymous animal for login, and they can, in this case, use the permissions that you have given to them. You can give the role viewer, mentor, or maybe editor, including people out of your domain, and of course, people who are you are not adding to the people with access. So when you're working with a lot of people, maybe it's not the proper action to share with all. But when you're working with a lot of people or a group of people that you want to join and collaborate in the file, you can use this option to remain the access for them and to have a pretty way to collaborate. So I just have to show you one thing more. You can have two ways of present, and we can use presenter view or just clicking on a slideshow. We're going to a complete and screen to see the presentation. If you use a presenter view, you will have another window to show you one note view and tools to advance your slides in a proper manner. I encourage you to test both um, ways to present, and don't forget that we have integration. So now we have a way to join into a presentation with the presentation into a Meet. And you can use a Meet that is running on. You can start a new meeting, or maybe use a meeting code that you can add to this presentation. So when you click on this button, you are jumping into the Meet call and begin to present the slideshow that you are using. I think that there's a lot of interesting options that you will um, begin to search, and you can learn now if you are exploring. Explore is a wonderful way to learn many of our tools and his features. So I just want to share with you another amazing thing that we had watched before on documents, and we have in all of our editors. You can do review the history about the different versions we have created. When you have collaborative work, we can look all the changes made to the document, in this to the slideshow, identify the name and color that who did it. So you can go back to different versions where you can find the changes. And why not? If you are wrong and you have to go back to a previous version, you can save it and make a copy, or maybe name this version to have an history of your different versions where you were working as a personal manner or as a collaborative way. This is a huge tool because when you're working in a team and you're collaborating, you can know who is working on, who is doing what, and maybe um, watch all the changes made in a period of time. So I can see that this is a very, very interesting way to explain. And if I have a minute more, Bunny and Becky, I would like to show how to change themes. We can go in this way to this button about 10. And we can select some of the terms that Google Slides offer us. Maybe I would like to change this, and all my slides will be adjusted with the new theme. Or maybe I will like to select this. And then we can find an interesting way to show what we are watching in our presentation. So I just have to finish. You can go to all the um, slides that I just suggest to review and on the presentation. And remember, we have seen collaboration and templates, version history. We have talked about autosave comments. We have seen the explore function, and well, we can add in speaker notes voice, but not recording, just typing. And one more thing, just like the great Steve Jobs say, you can download your presentations in different formats. If you select JPEG or PNG images, you got the slide that you have selected, but you can download in all these kind of wonderful formats that we can use to share and to review when we are working not paper, but maybe another way to check what we are doing. So I am really glad to be presenting here with you. And I think that you are doing awesome when you are exploring. So
thank you so much, Gerardo. Thank you. And so many wonderful tools and ways to use slides. I know slides is one of the heaviest hit items for a lot of teachers. So thank you. I think that everything you showed was super helpful. And we're just super appreciative.
And they'll be doing slides again for level 2. I cannot remember the date, but so like Gerardo got us started, and they will also cover like the level 2 things on, I think it's
in 2 Saturdays from now.
2 Saturdays from now. Yes. So spend your July. So thank you so much, Gerardo. And we just need to say that Gerardo is not only presenting, but working really hard in the background to set all those up, because it does take like tons of time and organization. And he has done a fantastic job in helping with that.
100%.
So, thank you. And he could do this in another language, which I cannot.
Right.
He could do this whole thing in Spanish. I'm unable.
Yeah.
So we just had a few questions in the chat. As you know, the big change I think from previous years is that this is full multiple choice. It is 35 multiple choice questions, like theory and practice and that kind of stuff. You do, and we do have our website launched. And we'll have all the links of where you can register. But what you'll do is you go in, you type in, I'd always just Google it, Google Certified Educator. You'll go through a platform called Criterion to create an account, and that is the company who will proctor your exam. If anybody remembers those dark days when they tried to use ProctorU, and things went awry very quickly. So we're back to Criterion. And so you'll go there, you'll create an account, and that is how they will proctor your exam. Sometimes you do have issues or whatever. We do not have any say in how it works. And if it breaks, you're going to fix it. You do have to reach out to Google directly, but they do have ways to do that. So yes, if anybody has any more questions, we'll stay on for a little bit and get all that. And
level 1, your certification is good for 3 years.
Yep.
So you don't have to do this yearly.
Some people do. Some people, if you're in a coaching role or a training role and you want to make sure you know exactly what's on there. Yeah, I need to recertify. Actually, I'm due.
Great. Yeah, great question, Tiffany. You can review, you can come back to this presentation at any time. So it will be on YouTube for you to be able to actually watch. If there's parts that you want to come back to specifically, you can watch those on YouTube. You can also access the slides, which the bit.ly is on the screen right now. It's bit.ly/2022, level 1, day 1, all lowercase. But yeah, feel free to come back to this as needed. Share it out if you've got colleagues who weren't able to join today, but they want to look into getting Google level 1 certified. Share this with them and check out the website. There's resources on there as well. So the Global GEG website. Steph Rothstein, she was kind of in the chat for a little while. She's amazing with the website and has put all of that together. There is a question here. Let's see. What do you mean by logging out of personal on the test? So your personal account on the test, if you go up, and maybe we can show this too, but in the very upper right-hand corner of Google Chrome, for me, I've got a picture of myself. Some of you may not have an image. It may just be your initials. But if you click on that image, you can actually, that's the account you're signed into. So you'll need to sign out of that one account. If we do that right now, it'll actually.
Here, show you. I can.
Let's see if we can get on there.
But see, like right here on mine.
It's right behind the.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a logo over it.
It's okay. I can drag it. It's okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So click that. And you can just make sure, just be mindful. It's less important now that it's all multiple choice. It was super important when you used to have the task portion and you would have to do things as a fake person. It's less important now. But just be mindful, like if you're taking the exam in Criterion, that's the account you're logged into and stuff like that. That's, like I said, you're talking about e-credentials. Yeah, I think you're talking about blockchain. How they're making it where people can't fake it and stuff. Yeah, now they're trying to use like blockchain credentials so you can share it. A bunch of badges have gone to that. It's pretty neat. All right.
Definitely. So next week they'll go over, next Saturday, same time, they'll go over the remaining portions of what you need to know for the level 1 exam. There will also be another opportunity for Q&A. So questions that you think about throughout the week, you can either post them on social media, on Twitter, and tag Global GEG. One of us will try to get to it, or you can hold your question until next week and they'll try to answer it on there as well.
Yeah. And, we'll be around. Are we hosting anymore? I don't think so. We might end up hosting again.
We might. We'll see. I actually probably won't. I think I'm going to be on a plane a few of the times, but we'll see. Maybe I'm not.
I'm here for July. I'm taking a pretty intense class. So, all right. Well, thanks, everybody. You guys were all great. Thanks for spending your Saturday with us. And like I said, reach out to us on Twitter and Instagram and all the social media places. So we can chat. So thanks so much. And we will all see everybody soon.
Hold on. We've got to do one thing. Because we have the amazing Judy on here and she created this. I do want to show.
Oh, then you show it. You need to show your screen.
Video. I don't need to. I've got it. Here we go.
Okay. For your personal account. Oh, nice. Wait, just real quick. A personal account, not your school account. The only thing is sometimes it's difficult to change. So yeah, I would use your personal, because if you leave that job, like I got my first certification under my old work certification. It was tricky for me to get it and log in and all that kind of stuff. So I would get it under use your personal account to make the account so that you have it forever. You know, because you never know if you might change positions. But thanks for bringing that point up.
Yes.
Okay, now selfie video.
All right, here we go. Going back to the selfie video. It's selfie time.
I love it.
Yes.
That's that Judy, man. She's
She's
cool.
amazing. All right.
Well, this was fantastic. Thanks everybody so much. Get out and get some sunshine. Yes, Jared. Yes. So thank you guys so much. And we will see. I'm going to end this broadcast and we shall see you soon. Bye.
Bye.